Hey guys, real quick, thank you for coming and watching this. I appreciate anyone that views it. Anyways, this is our first attempt at a podcast. I'm going to throw it up on YouTube for people to watch. Give me some feedback. Anyways, remember, it's peace, love, and enemy AC 130 above! Let's get it, y'all. Enjoy. Hey, Natty, I believe that you're a rocket scientist.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In the same way Forrest Gump was on the ping pong team.
He was on the
He
ping
really
pong
was.
team.
He was the team.
Can you believe it? All this time, we've been sitting next to a millionaire.
Would you rather get $1 million and never jack off again, or get $100 every time you jacked off?
$100 every
$100
time, no
never
hands
jacked off
down.
again.
Go ahead.
I haven't jacked off in years.
You haven't jacked off in years?
True story.
That's a very sad existence.
I rubbed one out about 3 hours ago.
I told Mrs. I wouldn't, and I haven't.
She doesn't want you to jack off?
No.
I had a girlfriend
Why?
like that once. For real.
Why?
She said, "What? What do you mean? Why? What?"
I have her. Why would I need to jack it?
She's never told you no? She always wants to go every time you want to?
It's pretty, yeah.
Oh, you
I mean,
won $1 million there.
If the average time is
I'm glad.
twice a week, I'm well above that. I'm okay.
Shit, when I was married, it was like once a month. Maybe on Father's Day. Maybe twice a month if it was on Father's Day.
It's like 3 times a week, I guess.
Oh no, my ex-wife was hot as shit, but she was a prude.
That's not being a prude. That's like a control thing in some cases.
Yeah, well, that too. Alright, got that done. Alright, I'm gonna hop into the lobby real quick.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, are you guys in the middle of a game then?
Yeah. Well, he's just finishing up. I'm just trying to help him. If with 2
Yeah.
people, it's gonna give him more targets.
Legitimately, just trying to get these headshots done.
It's a target-rich environment.
Fucking. Hold on.
We're gonna talk about some stupid, fucked up bullshit.
Start over.
Oh,
No,
we're
really,
not
I didn't have it
supposed to cuss in
recording.
the first minute, are we? Oh.
Alright,
We're not
now
supposed to
go.
cuss in the first minute, are we?
Nope.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. This is our first podcast. We are just going to be playing some Cold
Mindless
War Outbreak
zombies.
Zombies, yeah. So that you have something to watch while we're rambling about our nonsense. Anyway.
Going on with our lives.
Going
So,
on. Thanks for joining the TED Talk. Have a nice day.
I got one for you. Real quick, what's the worst job you ever worked?
Chuckle match.
Oh, I knew you and I'd have the same answer, Natty.
What's that?
The worst job
Worst
you've
job
ever
I've-
worked.
The Navy.
No.
Oh,
that was
Lord.
fun. When I was in high school for a summer job, I worked on a farm, and one of my jobs was mucking stalls.
Ooh.
And
That would be
sometimes the chickens would lay eggs in the hay, and the eggs would
Would
rot.
rot?
Yeah, and then there would be goat piss on top of the rotted egg, and I could still smell it.
Oh, that sounds actually horrible.
Like on
See,
a
and
hot day.
I raised goats and
was-
chickens
it
and
was terrible.
stuff, and that would be the worst, except for the pit at Truckomat. Like,
Ah, yeah. Drivers that would cut holes in the bottom of their trucks and take shits going down the road, and then they'd pull in for us to clean them.
like I try to think about the worst jobs that there could be. Like, not only the worst jobs that you've ever had, but like the worst jobs ever. Like, could you imagine being like a professional dildo tester?
What? Is that even a
Well,
real
you-
job?
No, you gotta think about it. It's gotta.
You
be,
get paid
okay?
to do that?
Like, if you think about it, okay, every assembly line job, every production job on the planet has quality control. Well, how do you quality control a rubber dick? You gotta
A
feel it,
lot
look
of
at it.
Oh, well, yeah. So they just jerk off dildos all day.
So basically, there is somebody out there whose job is dildo quality control.
Like, I figured they'd just use like a plastic vagina and a lot of sensors and turn it on and run it in there and then
The
be
model
like,
XL3000 is still giving me splinters on the 5th hour.
On the 5th hour? Holy shit.
oh God. I don't know.
How long have you been cranking your meat, dude?
First of all, sometimes it takes longer than others.
Dude, is there a pack-a-punch on this map, by the way?
I'm just saying, what if your wiener starts dry heaving? You've done it too much.
Well, that's what you have, but anyways.
Dust.
You're trying to kickstart a bike and nothing's happening.
Yeah, pack-a-punch is down here, Josh.
All right. On the purple mark. Thank you.
Hey, do you want to come back here and do this crystal challenge, boys?
We can. Yeah. Anyways, so
what's the worst possible job you could think of? Like, what would be?
Honestly, shoveling shit.
Be in the Army or the Coast Guard. I'm just kidding.
You know what? I'll allow you to have that because you're Navy. So, I mean, technically, you do get to stab at people.
I love all my brothers and sisters.
I mean, I tried joining the military. They just wouldn't let me due to my heart condition.
Fun. Get into the bathroom? Yeah, is that out yet?
Oh, I'm gonna die.
On the roof?
Look. Yep. Oh, well. Anyways.
We gonna let him die?
Yeah, you can.
I think we should.
Actually, Natty, that brings up a really good question. What was the worst job you had in the Navy while you were in?
So many. You have jobs where you literally work on the mess decks.
The what?
Sometimes the mess decks where everybody comes down to eat.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes cleaning those pots and pans in, 120-degree steam room.
Yeah.
Where it's slippery and there's food waste and.
That sounds absolutely actually awesome. Horrible.
Well, as a rocket scientist, I was a fire controlman, so I worked on the weapon system. So everything I worked on was in an air-conditioned environment. So if the birthing area where you slept didn't have AC, all my shops always had AC because you have to keep it cool. All the equipment. And the equipment comes first, right?
Right.
So there were times where the guys out on the flight deck would literally be launching planes and recovering planes, and on the black, basically concrete painted surface, it's 125 degrees, and they're sweating from the tip of their nose to the taint of the ass. And they're coming down there with bright red faces to eat food, and I'm coming down in a foul weather coat because it's 60 degrees in my shop, and I'm like, brrr, and they're just sweating. And they're like, I hate you. I'm like, well, be smarter then.
Well, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, because I told you what I scored on my ASVAB.
Yep. And
6.
Yep.
Yep and yep. Oh my God. Okay, fuck all of them. Every one of them. Anyways, no, but still, that does sound like hell. Not for you, for them.
Well, now, some of those people that are on the flight decks, they scored really, really good. It's something they wanted to do, something that maybe their father did or grandfather, and they wanted to follow in those footsteps.
Oh, okay.
As an aviationman.
I
Some
see.
of them.
Is there any reason for me to keep running towards these guys if you're just going to shoot them from 9 million years away?
I'll quit.
We're not playing this because you need to level something up, Chris.
No. But I'd rather not just run around like an idiot.
Fair enough. That's how I live my life. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, have you got, I mean, obviously, Berserk's met me. I'm not exactly, go ahead. I'll let you have them. Uh, also, my other question was real
Where's the
quick.
box?
What got you into video games? Like, what specific moment or what game or something?
You know, it's interesting whenever you talk about things that get people into video games, because it doesn't seem to ever be the same answer for anybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you have your kids, and when you talk about the kids, it's always like, oh, well, boredom or fun or it's popular or whatever. But when you talk to adults who have had time to like actually think on it and consider, they usually have something that like got them into video games. And if I had to pick one thing that I would say really got me into video games, it was stress relief.
Really?
Right, it's just a mindless reactionary task. Like for me, mowing the grass.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
I mean,
When I get on my rider and I have to come mow my yard, I love it because I don't have to think. I just got to make sure the kids picked up their toys.
dude over here with his riding on or first world problems.
It's a zero turn, so
I mean, I throw in my headbuds and listen to some rock and roll and like, yeah, weed eat and then hop on my
Have to
rider.
say rock and roll. Enya is not rock and roll.
But no, I understand that.
Sail away,
I'd have to.
sail away, sail away.
No. I love some Falling in Reverse and Here I Come Falling, screamo bands and stuff like that. And anything 70s hair metal. But I'd say what got me into video games, was I played Grand Theft Auto 3 before I'll take that back. I played Mario on the Nintendo 64. And
First
then
game I ever played, I think, was Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo.
Really?
But I
did not know that.
I didn't get
I'm
into
older than
video
both
games.
of you, and we didn't have.
Oh, we know that.
We didn't have a system until I was 13, and it was a Sega Genesis. The first game I had was Sonic. For that.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Duck Trap, where you literally go around as Donald Duck shooting plungers, and then you shoot the plunger at the wall, and you got to climb up the plungers on the wall.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not even know there was a game like that.
Oh yeah.
My first game system I think I got bought for me for Christmas was a PlayStation 1 with Grand Theft Auto 3 or 2. I can't exactly remember.
I loved it. The first
The
game I played till like my fingers bled was Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation.
I always wanted Metal Gear Solid. I never got it.
I played.
I've always played video games. Like even as a kid, I played video games, and it was really on and off. I didn't really get into gaming like seriously until I was probably in my teens.
I believe that.
And a lot of it was probably more my antisocial nature than anything.
Well, like for instance, when I met Chris or Berserk, sorry, we used to play. Excuse me, I burped. We used to play outside all the time because I lived out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and his mom and the other thing, would come out because my mom and dad were friends with his mom, and so him and Aaron would always come out, and there was no really game stations out there. It was all woods and shit. So yeah.
But I think that video games kind of hold different value for different people. Like for example, I work in a game store. I know you guys know that, but anybody listening to this podcast wouldn't know that. Anyway, I work in a game store, and we have this old lady that comes in. And I mean, when I say old lady, I mean she's like 80. Oh, okay, we started this?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Well, these are timed, so that was a bad idea.
I noticed.
Anyway, So she comes in and she is all about trying to figure out how to play the Switch and getting new Switch games and stuff like that. And turns out her husband passed away. And so she's basically just bored and lonely.
Oh, and that's cool. Actually, that's really cool. Oh, and it's actually, to me, that's cooler to see an older generation that's never fucked with anything like that get into something like that. I
Oh, I
guess
agree.
because if you remember right, I know Natty will. But growing up and people just like hating video games, they're ruining the culture and stuff, and it's like, but it's really not.
Well, and this was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about is people's perception of video games.
Okay.
Because even today, where video games and the whole world is pretty much digital, there's still this stigma surrounding video games that if you play video games, you're a child or you're immature or you're lazy or you're the acne covered nerd, that kind of BS.
Shut-in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that association with video games, and anybody who's been a
You
gamer
have a
for
speech impediment.
yeah, you have a speech impediment and you play
So,
D&D, which is bad because I'm
okay,
fat, I
thank
have a
you.
lisp, and I do play D&D, but that's not the point. Uh,
I was actually getting
We're
ready
not
to
talking about me right
say,
now, guys.
like, so we all grew up in kind of the same uh ideals that our parents had, like, only in my mind anyways, like, why play video games? That's for nerds. You're supposed to be outside doing something.
Oh yeah, my mom would literally lock us outside sometimes in the
Oh
summer. I
yeah.
don't want to
oh
see you
yeah,
for 3 hours.
absolutely. Yeah,
His
absolutely.
mom, Berserk's mom, one time
The
locked us
only
outside,
the only time you were able to come back is if you needed first aid.
and I'm pretty sure when my mom and dad got drunk and we stayed at my house, they would either go to the bar and say, "Don't go in our bedroom and don't answer the door for anyone," and you know where the shotgun is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got that spiel a lot when I was a kid. You don't answer the door, stay out of trouble. We'll see you later. That kind
Yeah,
of thing.
bye. Like, wait, what? That's why everyone, like, I hate when someone tells me I'm not independent.
I don't even
By the
really
way, like,
care
just
about
off
the.
subject there, but
I don't really care about the dependence or independence argument because honestly, I don't see how video games affect that anyway. Like you can be dependent or independent and still be a regular video game player. The thing that always annoyed me the most about the whole video game thing is the mentality, which let's be honest is wildly outdated, but the mentality that video games are just for kids now.
oh, hell, that's been
Like like
wrong
it's
for
it, it's
years.
it, yeah, it's been such a long time since that has been
Oh, come here.
truth.
There's the dragon head here. If you don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's see.
But that's
That
been a
was,
mentality for so long that the video games are for kids. And I mean, let's be honest, like they make video games now that are not for children. I mean, if you played
At
like
all.
Duke Nukem Forever, or even some of the rated R terror games, I mean, some of those games are definitely not
Can
for
you see?
children. They're
Can you see the
gruesome.
dragon head on the wall?
No.
no.
It's in the bedroom where I am.
Oh.
I will say that, I did play Duke Nukem, one of the originals, and it
Oh yeah, I
was,
played one of the originals back in the day, and I remember my mom was absolutely mortified by it too.
right. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't the
The
opening
original
video?
Wolfenstein.
Oh,
In
God.
German.
Yeah. Wasn't it the original fucking Duke Nukem? Didn't you the opening video was him running up or riding up on a Harley to a strip club,
Yeah.
and while he's in there getting a lap dance, they turn his bike into a tricycle, and he's like, "That's for sissies."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the original Duke Nukem on like PlayStation or whatever. It
Yeah,
was
I
like
played
Duke Nukem
that a
Time to
lot.
Kill or whatever. But then there's also the whole like GTA argument. Let's be honest, GTA is not made for children, but
And
children
I
play
played
it.
the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean I played GTA 5. Like nobody, I played all the GTA's. Vice City was one of my favorites.
Vice City
I
was.
loved
I
Vice
liked
City.
San Andreas.
But like everybody likes San Andreas. But anyway,
I know I'm a basic bitch.
you said it.
I know.
Anyway, the thing that's always really annoyed me about it though is like those games are rated M. They're rated M for mature, which means
Josh,
they're
come up here.
gauged.
We're gonna do this.
They're gauged for a
Okay.
mature audience, and then parents lose their shit when they find out that their kid's smacking hookers in the back of this caddy.
Right,
And
and
it's
get
like-
money for it.
Like I'm sorry, like you're 100% right. I agree with you. That is not for children. Why'd you buy it for them? That's just bad parenting.
Well, I think when video games were coming into their own, I should say, around PlayStation 1 and all the before Xbox, Microsoft released Xbox. A lot of them games, the EREE whatever rating was
ESRB.
not as good.
Well, the ESRB rating is honestly still a relatively new concept. It's a new thing. Like, it's only been around for what, 15, 20 years or something like that?
Yeah, since like we've been alive, I'm sure.
But like people tend to forget that the ESRB rating thing didn't really exist, and then they started coming out with games like GTA and others, and blah 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 blah, and then they started putting these ESRB ratings on. And I think once the ESRB rating came out, I think that should have, in my opinion, effectively killed the whole video games are for children BS, because these games are not for children. They were never intended to be for children. That's why they're rated the way they're rated.
Yes, but that's not what the generation we grew up in, Chris, was not like. That's not how we grew up, and you know
Why
that.
they shoot that zombie in a hot tub?
Well, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
let's
Like
take
that's
the
not how
water
we
out.
grew up.
Well, think of it. At any given time, if you wanted to go buy a video game, when you had the money or whatever, I should say, my parents in general did not care. They would let me have it. Not let me have it. They'd let me buy it. They'd be like, "Oh, I got to sign for it. Why?" And the cashier would be like, some grumpy old bitch, like, "Oh my God, you're letting your video games rot your brain. Why are you letting them buy this?" They didn't care. Like, it's like they didn't fucking even think about the ESR rating.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't really have any precedence in this particular situation. Because, like, yes, our generation, our parents didn't particularly care about it, but our parents aren't the ones complaining about it. It's the newer generation. Your Karens and soccer moms are the ones that are yelling about it now.
That's
Like,
why they
people
come
our
up with
age.
that rating.
And people our age that have kids are the ones complaining.
Like
Well,
they didn't. They played the same games though, right?
Yeah,
Well,
they did.
you gotta remember, it's kind of, no offense, it's more Nathan's generation, Addie's generation than it is ours. And
Same generation.
I mean, kind of, but you're technically a boomer. I'm a millennial.
Also,
I'm a boomer. Oh.
no, he's not.
I was a boomer baby from the 50s.
Okay, so that actually leads me into.
The
Go ahead.
boomers aren't just from the 50s. They were from the 50s to like 60 something. And I guess you're probably not quite that old, are you? You were born in what, the 70s?
Oh my God, no.
I'd put him around in the late 80s, early 90s. No, I was late 90s
No,
or early
like
90s.
40 something.
Oh my God.
80.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, hell.
You were born in 80?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. You're not as old as I thought you were.
Good Lord.
Anyway.
Math is tough, I know.
Well, everybody knows I'm mathematically retarded, okay? But it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so, okay, yeah. So we would technically be of the same generation. I mean, close enough that it doesn't really matter.
Am I on the cutting edge of it? Yes, I'm on the leading edge. whereas you are on the back end.
Oh,
I
I'm
will
on the
accept
very
that.
back end of that one.
You're the
Well, I
back of the
mean,
bus, always.
You said you were 40, right?
41, yeah.
41. So you're only 11 years older than me. I mean, I've got friends that are older than you. I mean, you're not that much older than me. I'm 30. But
Right, I'm emotionally, physically, I'm a mature 12.
I'm a mature 12.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
so it's definitely our generation that grew up with that kind of stuff. So it definitely doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that they would be complaining about it because they knew it existed. They knew it was a thing.
Right.
But
Even if you lived in rural America, like for instance where we grew up, you
Canada.
knew it existed. Like it wasn't like it was some foreign like technology is not God thing. You know what I mean? How they portray it on TV.
what you're talking about there, but all right.
Well, I know someone out there has seen like an instance of that where they're like, no, foul, boo. Adam Sandler's movie. That woman's the devil. Video games are the devil.
Waterboy?
Yeah, there we go. Like, even that being a joke is still true in a sense. People really...
She showed me her boobies and I like them too.
People believe that, though. People really believe that, and I don't... Why? They're not that bad.
I don't think that people still necessarily think that...
Are we ready for this?
Devil?
Are we ready for the dragon?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do it. I don't think that they necessarily think that they're the devil. They're more accepted than they used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's still a stigma around video games that anybody who plays them is lazy or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's time for that mentality to die. It doesn't have any... Oh, we're killing these guys outside of the circle.
In the circle.
Oh, okay.
Once they turn purple, then shoots them. Yeah, I was wondering what you guys were doing.
I wasn't
them down.
Talking.
As soon as they
was in autograph mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But, no,
Crystal, come get your mans.
I think it's long since time for that mentality to die, that video games are worthless. Not just because the what video games are has changed over the generations, but because it's not that way now. You can actually make money being a gamer now. Like, it is actually a feasible career path. And at the point that it can become a feasible career path, you can actually make a healthy, comfortable living off of it. At that point, I don't think you're allowed to say that it's a stupid, childish hobby anymore.
I didn't just go run and grab a beer.
Okay.
Actually, and so for my next, or something I do want to, another subject here I want to bring up. What's your feelings on being called a millennial?
I don't particularly care. I mean, as far as like being called a millennial in the way that I know they mean them, of course I would rather not. But does it really bother me? No, but that's because I don't care about other people's opinions.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I get where they're coming from as far as like calling people millennials in that sense, because, well, if I'm being totally honest, most millennials are stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
and they are emotionally soft.
They really are.
And mentally soft.
And hey man, I agree with it. I'm part of the generation.
Them, not even a high percentage, but enough to give them a bad name. Yes.
Do you think that maybe the millennial generation, in a sense, started the whole cancel culture type deal?
Oh, absolutely.
I think they bought into it. I don't know if they started it. I think they bought into it the hardest.
I would 100% say that they are directly responsible for it, really.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
I think that they
By
are
my feelings are hurt, therefore I am offended, therefore your rights don't matter. Only my offense matters.
Well, and
now
I
go ahead. I
think that the biggest issue with millennials and the cancel culture, and the reason that I think that they are mostly to blame for it, is because they weren't told enough as children that.
No.
Well, it's not even necessarily a being told no sort of thing.
We can have a difference of opinion and agree to disagree and still both be
Oh yeah.
just fine.
What do you guys think about Battlefield 6, the new Battlefield? I'm pretty stoked for it.
Hard.
What about the new Halo multiplayer that's coming out too?
I ain't watched it.
Are you talking about the Halo Infinite release?
The free multiplayer, yeah.
I guess I didn't see that. But Battlefield 6, I'm pretty stoked about that, and secretly I kind of hope that it fucking kills Warzone.
Yes.
The cheating in that game is out of control. And I know everybody wants to say everybody's a cheater, but when you legit get shot through a building from underneath, like, or while you're coming in, while you're falling in, out of your parachute, there should be no way in hell you get hit. And you just
the guy headshots you through a wall 2,000 meters away with an iron-sighted gun.
Right, or he's pointing the other way and he shoots you.
I think I got more hyped the fact that they aired and put in the trailer the rendezvous, something that kind of got looked over after its first year. Yes, it's an old trick shot, but like it deserved its 15 minutes.
Are you talking about the fucking jumping out of the jet and shooting?
Yeah, it's called the rendezvous.
Oh, I don't think anybody gives a shit enough about it to know that it's got a name.
Oh yeah, have you looked at YouTube, bro? Oh yeah, dude, he started crying, bro. Yeah, they're Stone Mountain. He called out. He goes, "Oh, the rendezvous, that is classic." What bugged me was some of the reactions to it. A lot of the newer streamers are like, "That ain't real. That's not realistic. What's that?" And it's like, bro, that's a trick shot that was not even thought of at the time.
It was like a Battlefield 3 thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was from like 2015.
Yeah, exactly. Almost 20 years ago. What, 11 years ago? Yeah. Wait, my math's way the fuck off.
2021. If that's 2015, that's 6.
Shut up! I said I'm not a mathematician. I'm a mechanic, not a mathematician. Mathematician.
Okay.
A matician?
Mortician.
If I take your Canuter valve and I shove it
No, but yes, like the fact that I love watching reactions, especially to something like that, and that guy that actually come up with it, he deserved that maybe about 5 years earlier, but let's be fair, no one's played Battlefield for a while.
Well, have they had fighter jets in it? They had the World War II one, and it wasn't jets, it was prop planes, right?
Yeah.
And they did have jets in it, but they didn't work the same way, so...
Right. That's why, and... Well, DICE has got to come up with something to beat... To compete with Battle Royales, in my mind.
Well, Battlefield's already said that this new Battlefield is going to have a Battle Royale.
Yeah.
It only does. There's no campaign.
Yeah, it's free to play, and it's online. Or someone said it was free to play,
$60
but...
with no campaign.
Yeah, I was going to buy the gold version. I don't know
So wait,
now.
This Battlefield 6 isn't going to have a campaign?
No.
No.
It's all online.
That's disappointing.
I did like Battlefield's campaigns quite a bit. Was it Battlefield 4? I think is the last time I played Battlefield. and their
I
campaign was
played the shit
awesome.
out of Battlefield 5, and then everybody I know stopped playing it, so I didn't have anybody to play with. And Battlefield's great, but it's one of those games. It's only fun if you got people to play with.
Right. Otherwise, you're stuck playing solo with randoms.
And
Which,
one of the things that I've always loved about Battlefield is it is very, very squad based.
mm-hmm.
Like, you can do really well by yourself in Battlefield, but not nearly as well as you could do if your whole team's working together.
Yes.
But I'm pretty stoked for it. I mean, I'll definitely get it. You know, another game that I think would be really cool for us to get and we could play together. But Josh, I don't know if it's cross-play or not. It just came to console. Is Green Hell.
Never heard of it, so probably not.
It's an
Vasquez
extreme
said-
survival game.
My
Vasquez said he wanted to get Battlefield if we were going to play it.
my
I'm straight up gonna
Xbox
get
is
Battlefield, no question.
say my Xbox and everything and all of the account and everything's still active and all what have you. Like, I would just have to get a capture card if it's for console only.
You don't have the required weapon. There's a box up here that you can open.
Yeah, that
You get a
happened to me
weapon to
last
open it?
too.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I found one of those in the last area we were in too, in the snow
Mhm.
area.
Must be a power weapon or something.
I don't know
Maybe
what
a
power
ray gun?
weapons there are though.
A ray gun or the ray K?
Maybe.
We're at 54 minutes, so I just want to do an hour. We can go over by 30 if need be.
Well, I mean, you're gonna edit it down.
A little bit, yes.
I mean, because there's a lot of stuff that's been in this that you don't want to air because it's pointless chatter.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point.
Well, it is to an extent, but you don't want the 3 minutes of boredom where we were switching games right there, or we were resetting the
No.
game and shit. That's stupid.
You are correct.
So honestly, you should get closer to an hour and a half worth of stuff. That way, you don't wind up with, you edit the boring stuff out of it and you wind up with 20 minutes worth of video. That's worthless.
Right. So, in other words, let's stop talking about that and let's go into a new topic. Anybody got any ideas, Natty?
Girls, do.
Girls. Oh, we can talk about girls, bro.
It's in the morning. Girls.
I'm with Natty in the car. Let's go.
I like the way that they walk.
Where do you think that virtual reality is going to go as far as gaming? And are you for it, against it?
Oh, I'm all
I feel
for
like
it.
the technology has been there for a while, but nobody really wants to grab onto it yet.
I think that the biggest issue that people have with it is they're worried about being cost effective. Because, like, there are VR streamers out there who do that stuff, but some of those guys talk about how they have a $20,000 setup.
Oh, yeah.
Because they basically had to dedicate an entire room of their house to what they do.
Well, it's like the 3D TVs, right? People went out and bought them, and then they didn't put the media out there for it. They didn't have enough titles to support it.
Right, and then you have to wait another 2 years before you get the media.
As far as like why they haven't done more with VR, but
I don't know if the companies are wanting to get in bed with it right now.
Well, as technology advances, it's becoming significantly easier with different engines to make games more cost effectively. And if you get a company, say like Sony, for example,
or Bungie or anything,
who have figured out they can make these games more cost effective now, so they can dump the money into something that used to cost more, such as like virtual reality.
Right.
But like, I really love the idea of like the Ready Player One style world where virtual reality is full dive. Like, you can actually get into it and live the video game.
Wait. Okay, yeah. Not the whole, we're all poor living in fucking canisters
No, I'm not talking Matrix style VR. I'm talking. Have you not seen the movie Ready
Yes,
Player
and
One?
he lives in a poor area, and that's all they do is go on that game, and then
Well,
the guy
yeah,
Right,
but
but
dies.
it's
even
just glasses and gloves. He didn't need a pod to be in it.
Well, I didn't mean a pod. I mean like, but you seen the living conditions they were in, is what I'm saying. In my
well,
mind,
yeah. What I'm
I
saying
took it
is,
as
in that movie though, everybody played the game like that. It wasn't just people living in, you know, shitty places.
no, you're correct. I guess the way I took it was is like the company that had it, that had the VR, the best one at the time though, was like the oppressor of sorts.
No, they didn't own the technology in that. IOI, the bad guys in that movie, didn't own the technology.
Oh, okay. Well, then I misunderstood.
Yeah, wow.
They owned the world.
They wanted to own everything to do with it
Well, that's
because
why
it
they wanted
was.
the guy, or they wanted someone to find the.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
They
That,
yeah they wanted to find the Easter egg before all the main characters because whoever found the Easter egg got control of the Oasis, which is what they wanted. They were just a company that dedicated so much to it that they seemed like they controlled the world.
okay. So basically, yeah, they just had the money to pay a
They're
So
thousand
basically
that
evil
people
Apple.
plus.
They're
saw that
basically
in
evil
theater
Apple.
with my brothers and had a great time because of the nostalgia of that movie.
Oh, dude, that movie has something for everybody. It was a fantastic piece of
Gundam,
cinema.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Absolutely.
The
Beatles.
Iron Titan, fucking,
The Iron Giant.
or Iron Giant,
Yeah.
excuse me. You know what? I didn't see a
Shining,
Zoid. I didn't
When
see a
Chucky
Zoid
jumps into
1.
that other car and he's fucking Chucky.
It's
Just
fucking
Balls
Chucky.
fuck that TikTok I sent you. What the hell is even that? Also, speaking of, does anyone remember the anime Zoids, or did I have a
Yes.
fever dream?
No, I watch Zoids like nobody's business.
I looked up, I wanted I wanted Liger 1, or Liger 0, to be my, subscription emote, and every Google search I did was like, we're sorry, we don't know what you're talking about.
You mean like Liger Zero's Roar or whatever?
No, like like when you subbed the channel, you get like for 1 month for first subscriber, you get a gray skull now, and then it's a pink, and then blue, and purple, and rainbow. Well,
On me, there's an apple crate in this barn for Intel.
Yeah,
okay,
I've already
okay.
got it.
Okay.
Gosh, that's
So,
Intel, I'm sure.
but I wanted to do Liger Zero in his different forms, like the white for your first sub, then like the orange, green, and
If
then
you went
do
in order, it would be white,
Yeah,
blue,
in here.
then orange, then green.
yeah,
See
exactly.
the apple crate?
This, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Natty. But that's what I wanted to do, and I couldn't find it. Like, it wanted to sell me the series and everything, and I'm like, that'd be cool, but I don't. I want to, and it might be copyright too.
More than likely. I don't know.
I
It
had
was
a.
owned by. I'm pretty sure the Zoids thing was owned by Bandai, but I'm sure that the copyright's probably expired by now.
I don't know. They might. I don't know if they still have that going on in a different, country or
like
not.
Japan or whatever.
But
Guess
I
it's possible. I
love
never
that
really
was.
think about that.
I think that was the first, besides Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball, excuse me. That was the first anime I ever watched. Okay, so dating myself for people younger than me, like getting out of school at 3 and getting home by 3:30 to watch Adult Swim or Toonami before they split
Toonami,
into
bro.
two.
USA up all night.
Oh no, when I in middle school, they started at 4 o'clock, I think. 3:30,
You
4
wanna do the
o'clock.
knocks on me.
And they played Dragon Ball, uh
Next up on Dragon
Zoids.
Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Zoids. What was the other ones?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, was Yu Yu? I don't remember. It was in the Pokemon was one, another
Yu
one.
Yu Hakusho was definitely one of them. Because I
Yeah.
watched the shit out of it.
And then that went away. They changed to Adult Swim, and it was every night at 9 o'clock. Family Guy would come on, followed by like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh god, I hated that show.
I loved Aqua Teen. Once I got old enough to realize, like, to understand the jokes. And then they went, and then after like 10 o'clock, I think 10 o'clock was when Family Guy went off the air and they went into anime. And then after that, they went to, it was just Adult Swim. And then on Saturdays was Toonami. And I'm going to be a little bit of a pussy here, but I kind of cried on Tom's final sign-off on Toonami. I rewatched it when I got older. And realized, like, the nostalgia that hit me was like, oh my god. Just, yeah. What is that? Oh.
Tell me you're a fanboy without telling me you're a fanboy.
Oh, giant fucking fanboy, bro.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I love it.
What was it? There was the one about the giant mechs in the dystopian world. It was like Big O, I think.
Oh yeah, Big O. Are you sure Big O or Gundam?
No, it was definitely Big O. I know what Gundam is. I'm
Okay.
the biggest Gundam fanboy on the planet.
See, I've always loved Gundam and Zoids. I actually watched the one Gundam not too long ago. Anime.
Is that like Voltron?
I hate you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, he's really old, so I figured we were just going to explain it like I was explaining it to my grandma.
How dare you, you millennial fucker.
Gundam and the orphan, the blood orphans or whatever.
Iron-blooded orphans.
Yes.
New Gundams.
I know, and I watched it.
About specifically old school Gundam, like Gundam Wing Zero or.
Okay, yeah.
Series.
I love them because they were so action-packed animes to me, or I was just a kid. I don't know. Yes, them.
Or I was just a skater boy.
She said, "See you later, boy."
See you later, boy.
He wasn't good enough for her. And I liked Avril Lavigne. Oh, I was your basic white boy growing up.
I said he wasn't good enough for her.
My wife continued singing it beside me.
And that's how you know she's your soulmate.
If I can say the first part of the chorus and they can finish it, they got me all day in the sack. We're good.
No. I accidentally bought armor. That's not what I wanted to do.
You are such a veteran of this game. How do you keep doing that?
I've got fast fingers and fat fingers.
He's in like fucking copy paste
Checking gravy
mode.
makes me slip off the.
Yeah, I'm copy and paste mode.
That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Just like I was
Just
in
going
loop.
through the motions, man.
Oh shit. Yeah. That yeah. What about oh piss. Hold on. Ghost in the Shell.
Was never a super big fan of it, to be honest.
First time I ever saw boob. That's a lie, but
I wouldn't tell that to too many people. That's a little embarrassing.
no, I kind of like Ghost.
Wow.
Standalone Complex was
You're really
alright.
starting to paint yourself in a bad light.
Oh, I don't care.
I don't know about bad, but sad.
Sad.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh, he fapped
Tears
anime a
double
lot.
Yeah.
double his loot.
I mean, the first time I got caught watching porn was hentai, so...
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck.
Ugh.
Fucking Natty, you were in the Navy. You can't tell me you don't know about that fucking hentai. Come on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea? Yeah,
I
exactly.
love how he can do that on command.
I hate it. I
butt
hate
fucker
everything
noise.
about it.
You love it.
I don't. I really don't.
Why'd you make me do that noise then for your
Alright, here's a
voicemail
good one.
message? You've reached the voicemail box of
Just no. Just no.
So a quick another topic. Go ahead, Natty. I'll start after you get done.
Oh, I'm done.
Okay. What made you choose your gamer tag? This one's specifically for me, because I'm tired of explaining my fucking gamer tag.
Well, I mean, this gamer tag was just because it was cool and I liked it. My original gamer tag...
That no one will know.
Well, I mean, my original gamer tag, this Xbox Live account is very old. But my original Xbox Live, my original name on Xbox Live was the Anarchist.
Yeah.
128. And
Oh yeah, I remember that
I
one.
changed it solely for the purpose that people could not get that name right. Everybody called me the Antichrist.
Like, how hard is it to fucking... Hell.
It was Anarchist 0128, and apparently nobody knows how to read, so everyone called me the Antichrist. And I'm like, that's not right.
I did.
Anti-Chris?
So,
Is that like a
That's what I would have
something?
said. That's some dumb shit I would have said.
you know, after 3 or 4 years of that or whatever, it just got annoying, and so I changed it. And then I changed it to Lucos, which is what it was when, like, Natty met me and stuff. And I came up with Lucos because it is Americanized Greek for the word wolf.
Oh, okay.
Which is because the Greek word for wolf is lycos.
I actually did not know that. I've known you for a while, and
Yeah,
Well, that's
most
why
people
the
know.
lichen, like
Yeah.
werewolves.
yeah, that
where
makes
they borrow
sense.
the word from.
Yeah, well, lycanthrope, it comes from the Greek word for wolf, which is lichen, and then anthrope, which is the Greek word for humanoid. So
Okay.
lycanthrope is...
Whee!
Well,
and then I
so
changed it to this one whenever I decided that I was going to get more into the public eye as far as streaming goes, because my old gamer tag had like me and my wife's anniversary as part of it.
yeah, I knew that.
And I'd been rocking the same gamer tag for something like 10 years, so I figured why not, you know?
Well, there you go. So just to throw it out here, my gamer tag I made when I was when the Xbox and Xbox Live first come out. My grandma bought me an Xbox with a year subscription, and my only real remembrance of online games, or my only thought at that time, was I played a computer game, a PC game, on my grandpa's computer called Viet Cong, or VC, and it was multiplayer, I believe, but I only played it single player, the story mode, because at that time I was real big into the story modes. And
I still prefer a good story mode.
Oh, yeah. I do too,
Like,
if
don't
it's a
get me
good
wrong,
one.
I play a lot of multiplayer games, yeah, but I value a game that has a better story mode better than a game that has a good multiplayer.
Anymore,
Like,
I'd rather
campaign
have
is
the
everything.
multiplayer.
See, like, and I value a good multiplayer. I want a game to have a good multiplayer, but if it doesn't have a good story and it's solely based around multiplayer, they better really bring the multiplayer content. And I haven't seen a game that qualifies with that yet.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. you can't have your cake and eat it too. You gotta do one or the other. But like I was saying, and one of the characters' names on it in the story, you're riding in a helicopter. You're in Vietnam, of course, and he goes, "Yeah, my name, they call me Hornster," and like it stuck. No, I was 10, 11 years old, maybe. I maybe a little younger than that. I have no idea why. I went, "That's pretty cool." And so since the original Xbox and Xbox Live, I've always had Hornster as my gamer tag.
Yeah, mine was Natty D34 for the longest of time. And part of that is nickname. It's a play on my name, Nathan Daniel. And then
I still call him Natty.
Natty.
right, and then they call me Natty because, you know, Natty Light, and I hate beer. They would call me Natty D.
Natty Daddy.
Pretty much.
Natty Daddy.
Then I changed it to this, Wise Old Solomon, because,
Right.
again, I've had Natty D since, Xbox Live, since I got it back in.
When did Xbox come out?
I don't even know.
But
Honestly, it's been so long ago.
I understand you there, Natty. Like, yeah.
2005, 2004?
Yeah, so
But online availability, probably somewhere after that.
6 or 7, because no, couldn't have been. It had to have been earlier than that because I would have graduated in 2010.
Graduated what?
High school in 2010.
In 2000.
Yes, I know. You would have been 30 at that point.
Natty would have been going to his 10-year reunion whenever I graduated.
Which was a year, 2 years before me.
I graduated in
I've
09.
never.
Oh,
gone
okay.
to I have no want to go to a reunion.
Mine was terrible. After my first one, I won't ever go to another one again.
It's so stupid. Everybody's still in cliques and.
Yeah. I hated that school so much. Stay in school, children, by the way. But yeah, I didn't like being in that school in the first place, and Berserk knows what school I'm talking about because it was no. No. It was such a cliquey school.
I heard
like
that.
that's the problem in that school. The teachers were dicks because the teachers' kids were fucking in class with them, which is not supposed to happen.
Why? Who said that?
I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't have a kid in your class. I feel like there should be adequate enough. I feel like there should be adequate enough teachers that if your sibling or relative has the potential to be in that class, they should be put in a different class. That way, there's no favorites.
Well, my wife had a chance to teach our daughter, and she chose not to. But
I appreciate that. That's
more along the lines because the dynamic between mom and student, as opposed to mom and teacher, you didn't want to
mom and daughter,
have mom see,
right.
Mom
okay.
as an authoritative person at school.
So I don't have an argument.
My wife's classroom have been like, "I'm sorry, Mrs. Solomon, I was naughty. You want me to clap some erasers together to get the chalk dose off?
Let's go."
I need you to.
It's terrible.
But
You just spanked me. I've been naughty on the playground.
oh, good God.
I was on the teeter-totter.
Just stop.
Just stop. But
just his old balls. Just.
oh,
Adam Sandler.
you almost made it. No, you didn't even make it. Matter of fact, I bet I can go back and redo this, and I guarantee in 30 minutes into this, you've already made a ball reference.
No. I would never.
No. No. Fuck. Anyways.
I respect the game too much.
Oh, fuck off. It's, what is it? All right, I got plenty enough. Can we end this so we can go run some Apex?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure. Hit the cap.
Do we,
We're gonna
do
go
we
to the
wanna-
bar. We ain't gotta
do we
go
want to
far.
call it?
Yeah, I'm calling it.
Either one.
All right.
Do you
Well,
want the XP?
I'm gonna go grab a beer and
ladies and gentlemen, this has been our first attempt at a half-ass podcast. Hopefully, you find it enjoying and you come back for more.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Please do. We need monies.
We need
need
money.
We need the monies. I'm
Well,
not
the
a
rocket
slot
scientists
machine.
don't. We do.
No,
Us,
slot
us,
machine.
us non-smart people. No,
Us po folk.
us po folk. Realistically, if you look at the housing situation, I look the poorest. All right.
Toby would like some WAP.
Dobby would like some. Oh, fuck.
Dobby!
Dobby's been a good elf.
Dobby got some what for master?
Master.
Is somebody gonna put the head in there? I thought somebody grabbed it.
I am. I'm about to give. Whoa! So many dirty
I'm
comments.
fishing.
Mine from that.
I'll put the head in. All right, I'm ending it. Hold on.
Playing a little game.